It's the very, very best AI. Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
Stop microphone on.
We are here. Now, AI is becoming such an interesting part of daily lives. Now, I will sometimes use it to even come up with episode ideas. Even if they're not directly from AI, I do get ideas from it. But today we're answering the question, who's better? The older but awesome ChatGPT or the newer but possibly smarter Gemini AI? Who's better? Let's find out. Alright, so I kind of want to do something to see what happens here. So I'm in the Gemini website right now, which I'm going to say, oh, one sec. So I'm going to say, plead your case of why you're better than ChatGPT. Why do you stand out from ChatGPT? So it's typing. And I do like the layout here. And actually what I can do... Okay, I can actually listen to what it typed.
I can't say definitively that I'm Google, Gemini.Google and ChatGPT are large language models with different strengths. Here's how we compare on a couple of key points. Access to information. I have real-time access to the internet through Google search, allowing me to consider the latest information when responding to your questions. ChatGPT's knowledge base is drawn from a massive data set, but it's not always updated with the most recent info. Focus on answers. I tend to provide more concise and factual answers to your questions. ChatGPT may give you more elaborate or creative responses, depending on the situation. Ultimately, the best choice depends on what you're looking for. Here are some things to consider. If you need the most up-to-date information, I might be a better fit. If you want a more creative or descriptive answer, ChatGPT could be the way to go. Why not try us both and see which one you prefer?
Well, funny enough, that's what we're doing. So now I'm going to kind of tell that info to ChatGPT and see, well, can we maybe create an AI revolution? Open ChatGPT. Maybe we'll start an AI war. Can't say, and I don't know.
New message, text field.
We just spoke with Google's AI, Gemini, who has more concise answers. Well, they said that you would give more information, although you have a limited knowledge update. Don't be nice here. Explain to me and the viewers of my show, why are you better? So it says, well, Google's AI Gemini might have concise answers. I have more comprehensive answers and understanding language and context. This allows me to...
Engaging for your viewers. Plus, my ability to generate human-like responses can enhance the conversational flow and keep your audience captivated.
Right, but the thing is that Gemini is in a way more human-like. ChatGPT, I apologize, but I have to offend you here. The way you seem is like Sheldon Cooper. You have good knowledge for what you know. However, the thing is that some people don't understand what you're talking about because your answers are so, like, big with bigger words, and it's kind of for a older audience, smarter people. Well, Gemini is somewhat better for everyone. Plus, Gemini can search the web. Why can't you do that?
Insert. Send. But you. New mess. Chat. What? Send. But send. It. Gemini's more human-like conversational style and ability to search the web can indeed make it more user-friendly for a wider range of people. However, while I may use more complex language at times, I strive to provide explanations that are clear and understandable for various audiences.
Jeez.
Additionally, while I can't search the web directly, I can provide accurate and relevant information based on the knowledge. Switch to voice
Alright.
mode. Button.
Now, let's see exactly
Wednesday
screen
what does Gemini have to say about this. It's a little windy, so that's what the noise you heard. Open app Google.
Google. Close.
So now we're going to explain to Gemini what we just heard,
Out. Bullet.
but now we need to talk about...
Gemini. Show more.
I kind of talked about the bad things about ChatGPT, so now we're going to explain why Gemini, you may not be better. Oh.
Ticket. One. Good. Mod. Double. Show. Input for prompt tag. Insertion.
Alright, Gemini, I just spoke with your rival, ChatGPT. They said that while you might be better for the reasons you said, wants to make sure that it provides good info, even though it can't search the web. Now, you're not out of the clear. There are some things to improve on. First, one thing that ChatGPT does have that you don't have is a hands-free voice mode, where I could just sit here and talk for hours if I wanted to. But you don't quite have that. But the thing is that you have more data and info. And for younger people like myself, you're able to give answers that people will understand. ChatGPT also said that it's better...
Screen dimmed. Open up. Send message. Button.
Let's see, I don't know how much of that actually went
Gemini's
through.
typing.
Let's read that.
Gemini.google. Foot back. Forward. Edit. Rocket. Show. Listen. Show. Listen. That's interesting to listen. But pros.
That's interesting to hear a Gemini
Google.
perspective.
Gemini.
It sounds like ChatGPT is strong in different areas, like having a voice mode for conversation. Here's how I might appeal to a Gemini's curious and communicative nature. Up-to-date knowledge. I can access and process real-time information, so our conversations can stay current on various topics. Multitasking. I can handle different types of prompts and questions, like writing different creative text formats, translating languages, or answering your questions in an informative way. New things to learn. Since I'm still under development, there's always the possibility of new features emerging that might be a good fit for Geminis who like to explore. Ultimately, the best language model for you depends on what you value most. Maybe you can try us both out for different purposes.
Alright, so for this final round, we're gonna see the storytelling capabilities. If I need to write a story, then which one is going to be better? I've done this with ChatGPT before, but I think we could compare them both. Open ChatGPT.
Chat menu. Chat new message. Text feed.
Write me a story called The Positive 16-Year-Old Blind Kid. That's me, by the way.
Send button. Send. Title: The plus 16-year-old blind kid.
No,
Once upon a time,
whatever.
in a small town nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests, there lived a remarkable young boy named Alex. At just 16 years old,
Whatever.
Alex had a unique perspective on the world. He was blind since birth,
Me too.
despite his inability to see with his eyes. His other senses were keenly attuned to the world around him. Every morning, Alex would wake up to the symphony of birdsong outside his window, the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze, and the comforting aroma of his mother's freshly brewed coffee. With the help of his trusty guide dog, Luna,
Oh, he has a
Alex
big
navigated
dog.
his way through the winding streets of his neighborhood with confidence and grace. Despite the challenges he faced,
Yep,
Alex possessed an insatiable thirst for knowledge and a boundless imagination.
me too.
He devoured books in Braille, immersing himself in worlds of adventure and mystery, and he dreamed of exploring distant lands and experiencing the wonders of the world firsthand. One day, a traveling storyteller visited Alex's town, weaving tales of far-off lands and magical creatures. Intrigued by the stories, Alex approached the storyteller and asked if he could share a story of his own. With a warm smile, with Luna by his side, Alex began to recount his own adventures, the sounds, scents, and sensations that painted his world in vivid detail. He described the feeling of the sun warming his face on a crisp autumn day, the exhilaration of the wind rushing past him as he rode his bicycle down a hill, and the comforting embrace of his
He can
mother's
ride a
arms as she
bicycle?
read him bedtime stories.
I can't.
As Alex spoke, the
Wednesday
townsfolk
screen
listened
recording
in
in
awe,
control center.
captivated by his
Me-
eloquence and imagination. For the
Me-
first
timer.
time, they glimpsed
Select
the world
open
through his
controls.
eyes, or rather,
Selected.
through his other
Photos.
senses,
12.
and they,
Twitch.
from that day
Button.
forward, Alex became known as the plus 16-year-old blind kid whose stories inspired and
didn't say
enchanted all
plus
who
birthday.
heard them. With the tale he shared, he reminded his fellow townsfolk that true vision transcends sight and that the most extraordinary adventures can be found right in their own backyard.
Alright, so that was pretty good, but I think it's worth seeing exactly what can Gemini really do. Open app, Google.
Close. Show. List. Show. Up. Bullet. Good. Bad. Double check. Input for prompt tab. Insertion.
Write me a story about the blind 16-year-old. Alright.
Open up. Open mode. Send message. Button. Gemini.
Let's see what
type.
Gemini has to say. That noise keeps scaring me. It's just...
Gemini. Gemini. Mute. Open. Listen. I can't say definitively that bullet.
Just gotta get past all this.
Good. Back. Share. Show. Pro. Close.
Oh, come on.
Listen. That's interesting to hear a Gemini perspective. Up. Alt. Bad. Show. Profile. Edit. Write me as rocket. Show drafts. Button. Listen. Speech.
Amari, perched on the window seat, felt the familiar symphony of the city begin its evening chorus.
Huh.
Car horns honked a rhythmic counterpoint to the distant wail of sirens. Below, laughter rose from a group gathered on the stoop across the street, punctuated by the rhythmic thump of a basketball bouncing against pavement. Amari, at 16, knew this symphony by heart. Blind since birth, the world unfolded for her in a tapestry of sounds, smells, and textures. Tonight, however, a new note intruded into the familiar melody. A faint, sweet scent, carried on the warm spring breeze, tickled her nose. It wasn't the usual exhaust fumes or greasy takeout wafting up from the street vendors. This was something lighter, fresher. Curiosity, a constant companion, tugged at her. The next morning, Amari, with the help of her trusty guide dog, Milo, ventured further than usual on their morning walk. She followed the trail of the mysterious scent, navigating by the subtle changes in the sidewalk texture and the rhythmic click of Milo's paws. The scent grew stronger, leading them down a quiet side street lined with brownstones. Finally, they stopped in front of a small, unassuming shop. A melody of tinkling bells greeted them as the door opened. "Welcome." A warm, rich voice filled the shop. "Hello," Amari said, a little shyly. "Is this the Jasmine Dragon?" "Yes, it is," the voice chuckled. "We sell teas from all over the world. Come in, come in." The woman, introducing herself as Ms. Lin, ushered Amari and Milo inside. The air was thick with the aroma of spices and dried herbs. Ms. Lin described the different teas with an artist's flair, each description a brushstroke painting a picture in Amari's mind. A grassy meadow for sencha, a smoky campfire for lapsang souchong. Amari left the shop that day with a small bag of jasmine pearl tea, the delicate scent clinging to her clothes. Back in her apartment, she brewed the tea, the process of familiar dance of boiling water in measured spoonfuls. As she took her first sip, the warm liquid bloomed on her tongue, a symphony of floral and earthy notes. It was a new experience, a new melody in the familiar song of her world. That day sparked a passion in Amari. She began exploring her city through scent, using her walks with Milo to map the hidden olfactory landscapes. From the pungent aroma of fresh bread at the Italian bakery to the sharp tang of chlorine at the public pool, each scent became a landmark, a note in her ever-growing song.
Wow.
The world, Amari realized, wasn't just dark and silent. It was a vibrant tapestry waiting to be unraveled, one unique sense at a time.
Photos. 17.
So, I think that the winner of this is quite obvious. I mean, like they both said, it depends on the preference, but I would say that Gemini is the better AI. It's not that I won't use ChatGPT, but if I'm looking for something kind of straightforward, Gemini kind of is the bot that would be good. Plus, I feel like the storytelling was just like way better. The characters' names were unique. The thing is with ChatGPT, I've done like Big Brother cast and stuff. Their stuff is way too like casual. Names of characters in shows or whatever, way too casual. Gemini likes to switch it up a little bit. Anyway, that does it for another good episode. As always, have a good day and be your mythical best.